How do you think the situation in Catalonia will develop in the new year? At this stage, of course, we haven't had the new elections, but how would you like to see that evolve?
I hope that the democratic decisions and rights of the Catalan people will be respected. It's their decision whether Catalonia becomes independent or not, and they're fighting the election on that manifesto, on that basis. And I genuinely hope that the results will be respected for what they are, and that if they are not respected by the Spanish state, then there will be statements, there will be a reaction, at least from the European Union and from the other governments across Europe. Because what we've seen in recent months, I believe, is unacceptable. It is against the rights of the people of Catalonia. We've got the election now, so we'll take that as a starting point, albeit it's being fought with some of the opposition leaders in prison, which is just incredible in the EU today. But the election result has to be binding now, and in the new year I hope that the EU will look at the situation within its own borders in all of the countries that make up the European Union, not just some of them.
There is a concern expressed by some regions who want greater autonomy that the situation in Catalonia is actually bad for them because it makes their central government more reluctant to give them autonomous powers because they see the direction of travel as independence.
Well, I think this is where the European Union really needs to take action, because some years ago when we were debating the European Convention, debating a constitution for Europe, which was never actually adopted, but at that time we in our group put forward very detailed proposals for what we called internal enlargement, because the EU was enlarging, was taking in new countries at a huge rate at that time. And we put forward proposals which would enable countries within the EU who became independent to remain as members of the EU, working side by side in partnership with the member states that they had decided to leave, which we believed would not only give more democracy to people, but would ensure a much easier and better transition in situations such as this, so that it became more normalized or more acceptable or less fractious when peoples wanted to establish their own autonomy, which I believe they have a right to do. That was rejected at the time, and I think we're seeing the result of that now in the EU not understanding and knowing how to deal with the situation as they have in Catalonia at the moment. But the fact that they haven't spoken out, that they haven't intervened, is unacceptable, and I hope in the new year we might see the beginning of a process that will put that right.